Hello, and okay, there it goes. Hello, and welcome to this special broadcast of what is normally the East Screen, West Screen podcast. We are having a special broadcast to discuss the event known as Hong Kong Webfest, which is happening here in Hong Kong in the month of June. Joining me, as always, is my friend and co-host. You know him, you love him, the Golden Rock himself, Mr. Kevin Ma.
Oh, Paul, nobody loves me.
Oh, we all love you. Come on. How could we not? Especially with a cute and cuddly name like the Golden Rock. Also, we have with us today from Hexagon Concepts and one of the, I guess, is a co-curator or curator, or how would you title yourself with regard to the Hong Kong Webfest, Mr. Marco Spamberg.
I think I'm the festival director so far.
Festival director. So a big, powerful title. So yes, we're here to talk about Hong Kong Webfest and what exactly that is, and what will be happening in terms of some of the events and how people can participate if they're out there and they're interested. I guess we can start off by first saying that the registration for the fest is now open, and there's a website for that. My first question, I guess, to Marco is, the URL is kind of long and lengthy, and it's not actually part of the Hong Kong Webfest site itself. So is there a reason behind that? Are you guys going through a third-party registrar, or how is that looking?
Yes. So, but let me explain about the festival first.
Okay.
So basically, the Hong Kong Webfest is a festival for transmedia, for web series, and specifically branded entertainment. So we are part of an international network of Webfests that started 4 years ago in LA with the LA Webfest. Then there was the Marseille Webfest 1 year later. And when I was at the Marseille Webfest last year, presenting one of my web series, the idea came up, and we slowly formed the idea or the concept of the Hong Kong Webfest. And now actually we have not just the Hong Kong Webfest, we also have the Melbourne Webfest 1 month later. And there will be more popping up. So we're talking about one in Rio, and specifically one in Dakar. And there's another one in Vancouver soon. So it's getting a pretty big network actually. But most of those webfests are focusing primarily on web series. What we in Hong Kong want to do is, since in Asia there are not so many web series around, we want to take it a bit broader. We said we want to do something with transmedia, but since transmedia is also not really established in Asia in a way, and the only way we can talk about transmedia right now is talking about branded entertainment. So that's basically the idea of the Hong Kong Webfest, that we bring together brands and content creators and try to figure out what kind of new forms of storytelling out there, what kind of new forms of, let's say, finance models out there to get those new projects, cross-platform projects made. And we will have a 3-day festival. That's June 5th to 7th. On the first day, we will have some screenings. On the second day, we will have basically a conference with industry speakers and brands and industry experts, actually. And on the third day, we will do a couple of Google Hangout sessions, basically like that one.
So as I look at the program, you mentioned that the first day is really primarily focused on a block of screenings. Now, are these full feature screenings that you're going to be showing, or are they just segments of longer features? Because as I look at the screening schedule right now, it looks about almost an hour and a half, 2 hours or so, and then you've got a Q&A with the creators that follows, right?
Yeah. So we have two screen starting at 2 o'clock, at 4 o'clock, sorry. And that is roughly a 2 hour 15 minutes block, and there are a couple of web series, a couple of branded short films, micro films actually, and not show. It depends a bit. We cannot show all the web series, so all the episodes of one web series. What we do is we show around 8 to 15 minutes from each title. And
okay.
so basically we have a pretty interesting mix out of Hong Kong web series, Canadian web series, French web series. And specifically, we have a special. We have the Hayward Max special that has a couple of microfilms from her. Latest. Some new ones actually.
And so the second day is a bit more focused on aspects of these new creations, things like transmedia and web series and branded entertainment, and how these operate differently in terms of financial backing models and distribution?
The second day?
Yes.
Yeah. The second day is basically really discussing about what kind of projects are there. So we have three really good project presentations. One is from France called 3x3. That's a really interesting new web series that is location-based, and it has a special platform, special transmedia platform, where you have to unlock certain levels while you watch the series. And it's a traveling series, so it will start in Paris and then move to London and New York. And the second one will be the new Emmy Award-winning web series Guidestones, and they will present their finance model because they got a finance partner from Hong Kong actually for the second season. So a Hong Kong-based brand is financing a Canadian web series, which is pretty interesting setting actually. And the third one we are talking about right now, it's probably a Spanish series, or it's not really a series. It's a feature film called the Cosmonaut. Sorry, and that feature was basically financed by 5,000 people. So it's a crowd-sponsored project, and they are about to revolutionize the finance models of the industry right now. So they have a couple of really interesting distribution models. You can buy certain packages with the film, and then when you buy a bit more, then you get an extra web series on top. So those are the three project presentations, and then we have panel discussions. And we basically broke it up into three sections: transmedia, web series, and branded entertainment.
So how would you describe the overall festival itself? Do you see this as more of along the lines of a film festival, similar to, say, the Hong Kong International Film Festival or other film festivals, or is this more akin to, say, Social Media Week, where you have people coming in and sharing different ideas and presenting possible alternative models for doing things, whether in the case of Social Media Week it's more about social media, but in this case it's more specific about film?
Yeah, basically we are branching out into all of these. So we are an extremely hybrid web festival. So we have the screenings, yes, but those screenings are not actually feature films. So those screenings are shorter formats, web series, basically. And it's, how should I say? It's pretty much tackling all of these things what you just mentioned. So it is sure certain projects have to do with social media, other projects have to do with straight marketing, some projects have to do with maybe just art or filmmaking. So it's a pretty hybrid festival, and we try to make it as mixed and interesting as possible, because in the end that's what transmedia is about. It's basically pushing the boundaries and then connecting areas that haven't been in touch so far. And this is basically the problem so far right now in Hong Kong, that all these sectors are still separate from each other. So you have the film industry, you have the TV industry, you have the web industry, you have the social media industry now. But there are no bridges, and that's basically where our festival wants to start.
So who are you looking to draw in terms of attendance? Are you looking more for sort of, I guess we would label them the prosumer, the people who are actually out there making product now, people like yourself who are working on a smaller scale and releasing their work up to YouTube and things like this, trying to take that next step and get a bit bigger in terms of production and distribution, rather than just posting their handheld backyard video. So are you looking for more people like that, or are you expecting more of a general audience in terms of interest, people who just want to come and see some of this work?
I think it's actually extremely specific what we do, even though it tackles so many areas. But in the end, it's probably mostly for creators and creative agents, creative agencies, creative producers. So on the one hand, for really industry people, and then on the other hand, for everyone who is interested in doing this kind of production. Because in the end, everyone can do a web series right now with the tools available that are actually free available right now. So I think the idea is to educate and say, so this is something that you can do when you get a specific partner on that brings you some money in. Then you can do more. When you have a known audience that you build yourself, then you can leverage on that with the help of partnerships and money from outside. Basically, because the thing, what happens right now is that no one really has an idea how to deal with all that transmedia, cross-platform stuff, and basically how to make a business out of it, how to create a business model out of it. And the idea of the festival is to bring people into one room to start talking about it, to start figuring out what could be possible options here in Hong Kong to actually do something that will define the future of entertainment in a way.
So, Kevin, let me jump over to you for a minute. Of all of us, I guess you are probably the youngest and the most in touch with young filmmakers today, right? And you are a fairly recent graduate of film school yourself. Do you think that this is something that young filmmakers in Hong Kong, people, I'm thinking more of currently enrolled students, people who are thinking about going out into this area as a field, possible career, something that they want to do, not just for fun, but something that they would like to try and build a career out of? Do you think that this is an event that they would want to take part in, that they'd be interested in? Or do you think that young people still are more focused on the traditional sort of models, and just if it's not being made by a major crew, or if it's not something where they've got a huge budget, that this isn't something they'd consider as a certain direction they'd want to go?
Are we talking about audience, or are we talking about creators?
Well, I'm thinking as creatively, students. Do you think this is an area that students are considering, or are they thinking about? Or are they still just thinking they want to go to Hong Kong APA and pick up a camera and do things the traditional way.
If you're thinking about local Hong Kong creators, that to them, because Hong Kong is such a small place, that getting only Hong Kong exposure isn't enough. To them, it's about getting to travel to other countries. It's them, going to festivals, other countries, or playing in screens in other countries. They think that they physically be there to expose their work to people of other countries. I think this is a great opportunity because the web is worldwide. The web is automatically global. Once you're on there, then you're global. The real problem is really the industry itself. They're not ready to put in enough investment into this field. Their money is still in traditional field. So, younger creators, they go where the money is. They can't work for free. There's no way anyone will work for free right now these days. It's hard enough to make a living. So to do something as a hobby and not get a budget for it, that's really a scary thing. So I think it's not only the creators who have to change, who realize that the web is global. Once you're on the web, you're global. You don't have to travel all the way to Europe, or you don't have to travel all the way to South America or to America to get your stuff shown. Well, of course, to them, it's just probably a free trip. That's what they care about, right? But they have to realize that the web is global. You don't have to leave Hong Kong to expose your work. And the same for content, the people who invest in these things, that you have to put money into these. And the only way that these can be good is if there is some kind of budget to make these good.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting point. If I could pop back to Marco for a moment, the venue is going to be at PolyU, is that correct?
Yeah, correct.
And so if I could just sort of come back to the student angle, do you expect a lot of students from PolyU or from Baptist University or from the other schools to, I mean, registration has opened. Has there been interest by the local students at all?
We actually haven't sent it out yet to all the students. We will, like the week before, because students have a short memory, actually. So
yeah. Well, the good thing for students is I think that most of classes should be finished for them by June, unless they're in summer session. But to just sort of jump back to my little bit of a pet peeve, why is this on a Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and not on the weekend, so that working folks like myself can attend?
Okay. So we are part of the French May, actually. So the festival this year isn't a standalone festival, since we do it the first time. So we are fortunate enough to be part of the French May. We're an associate project of the French May. And as far as I know, the calendar was already full on the weekends.
So you got to take what you get, right?
We cannot cannibalize each other in the French May, so it's what it is, right?
Yeah, so hopefully if people are going to be in and around Hong Kong during this period, they can attend. But if they're not, if we could jump back to the program for a moment, on the final day, that Friday, June 7th, you do plan to have several hangout sessions. Right now I see 3 listed. Canada, I want to say Canada, that's my American in me. A Canada hangout session as the first one, an international hangout session as the second session, and the final session is a China-Hong Kong session, which will be conducted in Cantonese. So we can assume, by Mr. Ma, yes.
Yes.
We can assume that the first 2 will be conducted in English, or is the Canada one going to be French-Canadian?
I hope not. I have to moderate them.
Yes. So in terms of these hangouts, are these going to be open to the public to join in, or are they simply there for the public to take part in by watching as an audience member?
You can watch them, yeah. Because we have a couple of basically a couple of planned speakers for that already.
Would they be able to join in on the chat or anything and ask questions, or would they just be watching?
I mean, you can always write on the event page, and we just pop in the question whenever it comes. So that's not a problem. problem. We really want to keep it open as much as we can.
Yeah.
So interactive as much as we can.
And so, what do you see as sort of the future for the Hong Kong Webfest? I know you mentioned that these Webfests are happening in different places on the planet, similar to the social media. We kind of move around to different cities. Is this going to become an event? Do you hope that this is going to grow and expand on its own?
Yeah, the idea is to do it an annual event, and we're talking to a couple of other people right now, so that we not just have that annual event every around June, but also that we have certain satellite events throughout. And once is settled and we can publish it, we will say it. But it's probably the next event will be in November. Okay,
and so if I could touch base with you on move away from the director role, back to the at least the director of the festival role, back to the video director or film director role, because you are known for having done Squatter Town, which is a award-winning mini web series, I guess, and you've recently worked on a second work called Hexagon. Are you planning to continue on to do these kinds of works, or do you think you're going to move more towards the organizational aspect like you're doing now?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean,
that's a safe answer, right?
I mean, since I've finished Hexagon, which we are planning to release in July as a web series, actually, online. Since then, I haven't really produced anything yet. So I was more focused on building up companies and getting festivals off the ground and attending festivals, flying around, so doing talks. So I don't know. I'm not sure yet.
All right. Well, we'll just have to wait and see what more creative works you can come up with, because you have all this free time, I'm sure, right?
Free time. Well, I mean, what I'm focusing on right now is basically to get transmedia off the ground in Asia, and I'm involved in a bunch of projects, and we also try to build up international networks that can help us here in Asia. We are just co-founder of the Transmedia Alliance, which is a French-based international alliance of transmedia makers, and we are the Asian link to here now. And then I'll go down to Singapore this month, actually, to kick off the first transmedia event there. So it's lobbying right now. I think this is my job, lobbying.
All right. Well, Mr. Ma, how about you?
What about me?
Well, you're part of a lot of this, what's going on with regard to the Hexagon as a company, and Hexagon is one of the sponsors of the festival. Do you see yourself staying more in this kind of administrative role, or do you plan to branch back out into the more creative aspects?
No, I have a lot of work, and Hexagon it's unfortunately I can't. I already have trouble making Hexagon a bigger part of my life than it is right now. So, if whenever I can, I like to work on Hexagon. But and that's already enough. In addition to my work here with you guys and with my day job and my other freelance job. So
you don't need a day job.
No, come on. I need to make a living.
Just quit.
I do have all these Blu-rays on my shelf here.
Well, the website is www.webfest.hk, and over there you can find a list of the programming, registration links, map to PolyU, the facilities, and the breakdown and relevant links for social media as well. You can follow Webfest on a variety of channels, including Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and of course right here on Google+. Marco, is there anything else that we missed that you want to add in?
I think we tackled everything. We could start talking about the project and we missed the registration, so we can cycle back actually.
Yes, registration, which is this lengthy, cumbersome URL.
Yes.
For some reason.
So what we will have, we were thinking of how can we make the Webfest different from other festivals, basically, since we not just want to show new concepts, new ideas, new stories. We also want to showcase a lot of new technology that can be used for potential storytelling, and we tested that technology before already on a couple of events before. And what we will do is we will have our NFC-enabled festival badges. So that means when you sign up at that strange link, this is basically a third-party application that will link whatever social media channel you have to your personal badge. So when you register, you have to sign in, and then when you come to the venue, you will get your personal RFID badge, which is basically like a big octopus card in a way, and your social media channels are linked to that card, and we have certain check-in points throughout the venue, and where you can swipe that card, that badge, and then it either makes a photo of you, or it's a check-in, or you can sign up for a lucky draw or things like that. So it's a pretty interactive way of communicating with people that are on site and with people that are online.
All right. Well, that sounds pretty interesting in terms of getting a lot of linkage through different networks and different social media. I'm excited. I'm hoping that maybe I can work out my work schedule to at least attend on the first day, maybe the second day, if possible. But it's a busy time of year for me for sure, and I don't know if my boss will if I say it's work related, maybe I'll be able to sneak out, right? Kevin, can we expect to see you there?
I will be at the hangout, but the other 2 days, like you said, I will also be working. So
working for those Blu-rays, just like me.
Working for the man. That's what I'm doing.
All right. Well, I think we've burned up our midnight oil here, and I think we've covered most of the key points that I wanted to cover. Kevin, was there anything that I left out that you think needs to be brought to the forefront?
I think you got it pretty good there.
All right. Well, Mr. Stromberg, if people want to follow along with some of the things you're doing with regard to the Webfest and with regard to your own work, your own video work as a director, how can they follow you?
So for the Webfest, it's like you said, webfest.hk, and you will find all the social media links there. For myself, it's as always my name, my full name. So at Twitter at Marco Sparnberg, and the webpage is m-sp.net.
All right, and we'll have links for this over on our site at www.kongcast.com in the program notes. As always, I would urge you to follow Kevin, Mr. Ma, over at his blog, The Golden Rock, part of the lovehkfilm.com website, and also follow him on Twitter. That is the Golden Rock twitter.com/thegoldenrock, one word. Especially if you're interested in film relating to Hong Kong, China, and other such news. You can follow me at FoxLore on Twitter, but I don't do a lot there these days except get in fights with Kevin about movies we disagree on. So if you like to be amused by two old ladies bickering, then you can follow me. Otherwise, it's best to avoid it.
It's an interesting discussion.
Yeah, it's interesting for us. I think people on the outside probably go, "What? What are they talking about?" But yeah, please do come over and drop by the website. That is www.kongcast.com. As I said, all our show notes will be there, and you'll find the relevant links to Hong Kong Webfest as well. So I think that's going to be it for this short session on the Hong Kong Webfest. Gentlemen, I wish you the best, and I hope to get a chance to see both of you at some point during the Webfest, although I know that, Kevin, we might have to smuggle you out of your office to get over there. But maybe I'll drop in on the Cantonese session that you're gonna host that, right?
Yes, I'll be moderating that. Unfortunately, yeah, in Cantonese.
We'll be looking forward to that. So until our next episode, this is East Screen, West Screen. As always, wishing you good viewing, and we will see you next time.
See you next time, everybody.
Bye-bye. See you at the fest.